if you know what you want and you know it's possible, you don't need cybernetics. Cybernetics is useful when you want something, you think you want something, but you think it's impossible. Cybernetics then is about how to reconfigure resources in order to get what you want, in order to create a new system, not just a little improvement on the current one.
We teach an extreme individualism, and we give children the experience of a command and control system instead of the experience of working out over time a mutual system.
Let's think about for a moment last year's conference. The theme was acting, learning, understanding. Acting can lead to understanding, and understanding can lead to acting, just as understanding informs acting, and acting informs understanding. So there's a circularity here. This means that there's no natural superiority, that acting is neither better nor worse than understanding. In other words, we need to think in terms of a non-hierarchical world. It's very difficult to understand hierarchy in circularity. Circularity means if A then B and if B then A, and it seems that we have a way of looking at the world which moves us from flatness into hierarchy, and that is something that we do with our thinking, and it's very powerful and very useful, but it's not something that we should be imposing on the world. It's something we should understand as a way of thinking that leads to certain types of understanding.
No wonder so many people found cybernetics and systems theory unintelligible. We are a society that is, to put simply, counter-cybernetic, that is constantly sending us the message, don't look at the whole system. Don't notice the context. Don't look at the broader relationships and interactions. Don't think of yourself as part of the natural world. Think of humans as different from and against or ruling over, quote, nature.
I've gotten a lot of sense that people are frustrated with the structure of society and the structure of the world we're creating.
It's the same the old world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a bleeding shame? We have structured a system, not understanding the principle of requisite variety, not understanding this feedback phenomenon, which is dedicated to producing this effect. I think that one should always consider, when you look at a system which you say, oh, this is going wrong, how do we put it right? You should start by saying, why have we designed this stupid system to do the wrong thing?
This is the requisite variety song.
Broken lines, broken strings, broken threads, broken springs, broken idols, broken heads, people sleeping in broken beds. Ain't no use trying, ain't no use joking.
Sing it.
If cybernetics taught me anything, it's that physical forces don't make this world, humans make this world. It's the decisions we make, it's the organizations we build.
Cybernetics can be used for evil too. You can't assume that by having cybernetics we're going to better the world.
Cybernetics, being insight into how to use communication and control, can be used for evil the more everybody else is unaware of the fact that it's going on all the time. I think making people aware of the fact that it's going on all the time is the tipping point to then people saying, but wait a minute, if I'm actually performing my engagement with these structures, if we're all keeping this going together, then we should have some say and we can change it.
Several of us are doing it. And I recently spoke with several people who have started educational dynamics, a form of experimental schools, new schools, all kinds. That must be motivated by some discontent with tradition and with simply obeying the language that speaks us. We would like to be able at last to know how to teach language to say what we would like to think. So become teachers of language and not language teachers.
I'm learning that I'm doing really cybernetic work. Now it makes sense, resonate. And then I think about it, oh, how does one work in cybernetics? Because the conference theme is living in cybernetics, but I think it should be cybernetic. I mean, living is cybernetic. Because is there any other way?
The late Amos Wilson said, if we desire a better world, we must name the world we desire.
I was thinking that perhaps we should reflect on the nature of our problem. Problems are always conflicts of desires.
In regards to the problem of global warming, we don't need another study to know what's happening. What we need are control systems that will do something about it. And we don't have that.
What we need is for people to change their minds.
Yes. What about Max? I'm very much for Max. Max is a particular friend of mine. Would you tell us about him, please?
Yes! Come here! I have what? Come here! Weren't you there? I was. When? When you are right. When am I right? When you think that I was there. But you are here, not there. Right. You see, you're right. How can I be right and wrong at the same time? You can't. When you think that I was there, you are right. When you think that I am here, you are right. Since I, at the same time, was there and am here, you, at the same time, were right and are right, since I was first there and now am here. You simply have to be able to change your mind and the sloppy thinking that runs your mind. You have to try to be intelligent. You have to be trustworthily unreliable. And then you have to use this ability not to cheat and deceive, but use it rather to liberate process from the bondage of belief, custom, habit, principle, prejudice, fashion, medium, and other mentally violent immutables. The retroactive correction does not lead to apology, confessionals of sins, contrite genuflections, and vengeful hypocrisy. It encourages thinking, rethinking, humor, and the immense and cheerful respect for the inconsistencies when confronting so-called reality with critical contemplation, and your contemporaries with wonder and grateful disbelief.
So you are right before, and there's a big change, and you're right after. And that's an idea that composers work with, poets work with, possibly maybe scientists work with this too, I don't know, showing that one can have had a change of mind and have been right before and have been right afterwards.
You are not after the truth, you can do that.
Cybernetics is much about constructing, and we construct science.
Scientists play as if they were only scientists when they are not. So my only possibility, using Herbert's expression, is to anti-communicate. Is to use my words in such a way that I force them to mean what I want. And to force them to mean what I want, I have to create a whole condition in which they mean what I want. Curiously enough, I want them to mean what they mean in daily life.
The purpose of science is to describe what is, whereas cybernetics is a performative, forward-looking search.
So actually I think kindergarten is a little late to start learning.